Hey guys, it's me. I am sitting outside here on this gorgeous fall day, and I thought it would be a good time because Halloween is coming up. I thought it would be a good time to tell a little story about my Hagwon horror that happened at Halloween last year. For those of you who don't know, a Hagwon is like a Korean private school academy, but not like a fancy private school like they have in the US. It's more like because parents want the kids to learn, actually it's for any subject, but in this case it was an English Hagwon, because the parents want the kids to learn so much that they send them to school like before they start regular school. So I guess they call it kindergarten, but it's not even really kindergarten. It's like preschool. It's for little kids. So anyways, the school that I worked at last year, I do have to emphasize, this is not my current school. My current school is awesome, and I never had any problems working there. But my school last year, I'm trying to hold this steady. They tried to do this big Halloween event for the kids, which that's great. Have fun with the kids. I mean, and I guess also because the teachers are foreigners, they think that it's helping the kids understand Western culture better, or namely American culture better, even if you're from England or something, or South Africa teaching. So anyways, they decided to have this pumpkin carving day, which that's great. The only problem is they don't really have the carving pumpkins in Korea that we have in America. So in America, I'm pretty sure that the pumpkins people use for carving are not even technically pumpkins. I think they're a gourd or something. I don't know. Maybe somebody can comment and let me know. But I think I've heard that before. And I've also heard that they're specially bred or genetically modified or engineered, whatever it's called, to be easier to cut. So they're not really meant to be eaten. They're meant to be thin walls and easy for people to cut shapes and such with a knife. But anyways, Korea doesn't have those pumpkins. At least if they do, they're not widely available. But they do have these pumpkins that are a little bit lighter colored, but they're really thick. And they're really hard to cut. They're just meant for eating. People have, it's a food source here. So I'll insert a picture here so you can understand what I'm talking about. But the shape is a little different. It's a little more flat and stuff. So yeah. But anyways, we got these huge pumpkins, and they're ginormous. I've never seen a small one. They're always big, maybe. So anyways, we get these pumpkins and we go sit down with the kids in the gym. And I'm thinking we're gonna have a table, and every class will have a table, and the kids sitting around the teacher while the teacher cuts it. I mean, if you think about it, it's not really safe, because you have these kids, their Korean age was 6, which means their international age was only 4 and 5. So it was me sitting with kids around me, and me holding a sharp knife trying not to cut them. So, and also they didn't have tables. I thought they would have tables, but they just had floor mats for us to sit on. And I'm great, this is so uncomfortable, because they never think ahead and think oh, it's not comfortable for foreigners to sit on the ground. And I'm not even that bad about it, but some of the guys at my school, it was super uncomfortable for them to be sitting on the ground. By the way, I hope this isn't too loud. It's rush hour here, but I wanted to sit outside while the weather was still good and there was light out. So anyways, we're sitting on these picnic floor mats in the gym holding knives, and I start cutting into mine, and I cannot get it to go through the pumpkin. I'm pushing as hard as I can, and I'm pretty strong, I think. I'm not a muscle man, but I lift weights and stuff, so I think I'm not super weak. So anyways, I'm looking around the room, and all the other teachers are getting their pumpkin cut into, and I'm really having a hard time with mine, and I'm also freaking out and being made even more nervous because there are small children looking, oh, teacher, what are you doing? Like looking around me like that. So I'm like, okay, getting a little nervous, but just trying my best. Finally, like, I think I had to like, I don't even remember what I did, but I finally got it open. Like, I had to pry it, and it didn't look good. And then they're like, okay, you have to like stick your hands in and start like pulling the stuff out. And none of the kids would do it, which it's good that they didn't. None of the kids would do it. They were like horrified of the thought of like sticking their hand inside of a pumpkin and like pulling gross looking stuff out of it. Sorry, it's so loud. So yeah, the kids were like horrified by that thought. So I'm like sitting there doing it myself, and I'm pretty sure I had like those like plastic like ajima gloves that everyone has in Korea here for like when you're doing something messy. So I think I had those on at least. But anyways, I like am digging in, and the stuff is not coming out. And I'm kind of like looking in, and I'm looking around the room, seeing all the other teachers getting theirs easily pulled out. And finally, they were all like, man, they were like kind of brushing it off, like, you don't know what you're doing, like, you must have never carved a pumpkin before. Well, I haven't carved one recently. I did when I was a child. But I'm like getting all nervous, so I finally stick my hand in and pull out like this, like I rip out like this huge chunk, and I pick it up and I look at it, and there are maggots. There were maggots everywhere. The pumpkin was totally rotted. That's why I couldn't get it cut open.
So I was literally like, and then of course like I'm freaking out, like trying not to scare the kids, but like anyone who sticks their hand in a bowl of maggots is gonna be freaking out, right?
So then my like head co-teacher lady like is like, calm down, you're gonna scare the kids. And I'm like trying, at this point I'm like shaking and trying not to cry, and I'm like running to the bathroom to like wash my hands 1,000 times, and I'm freaking out, and I think I washed my hands for like 5 minutes, and I was just shaking and trying not to cry. I mean, I don't know, I feel like they made it out like it was a big deal that I acted like that, but honestly I don't know many people who wouldn't act like that. And when I told all my friends, they were all like, yeah, we would do that same reaction. Like they would, and they all said that they like wouldn't have even gone back and finished it. I go like walk back to the gym, and my boss, like the head, I guess she was like the owner, one Jungnim lady, she was just standing there looking at me, and she was like, oh, it's organic. And I was just like, why do I care if it's organic or not? We're not gonna eat it. And yeah, that was the ending. That was all she could say. It's organic. And I was so mad. Like, and then because like, I guess they were doing the whole thing in like 2 groups of kids, they only bought like 1 pumpkin for each class. So since we had to throw ours away, they had to give us another classes for the second group. And then like everything got delayed the rest of the day. And they were like, well, that's because of you and your pumpkin. And I was like, this is not my fault. Like, are you mad that I like didn't continue carving a pumpkin that was full of maggots? Or like maybe you should think ahead and buy some extra things if you don't want, like, if you want to plan ahead like most people do for events like this. So anyways, yeah, maybe you thought that was super boring. I don't know. I don't really do these like story time videos, but I just thought it was a funny story. And also a charge to other English teachers in Korea out there. Don't take any crap from your employer when they make you feel bad about that kind of stuff. Like, because sometimes they make me feel like guilty, like I did something, like I was the one in the wrong. And not that they did anything wrong, like in the sense of like morally wrong or sinful or anything, but like if somebody suggests you to do something that's like, dang, these people be crazy. If somebody is telling you to do something that doesn't like feel right or makes you uncomfortable, tell them no. You just gotta stand up to them and tell them how it is. So yeah, anyways, hope you all are doing well, and happy Halloween, happy Reformation Day. Bye.